No, I'm serious. Like obviously, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, like most people, like you're like, oh man, like this is me. I got this. This is my thing. It's like, and I'm not even gonna eat a lick of these groceries. I was like, I'll split your grocery bill. It was like a $400 bill.
When the doubt gets loud, but answer that call. Vision ain't real till you grind at speed, so breathing deep. Then call the damn leads. Call the damn leads.
Hey, welcome back to Call the Damn Leads, the show by sales professionals for sales professionals. I'm your host, Drewbie Wilson. With more than 2 decades in sales, I've seen it, been through it, heard about it. Now I'm bringing those stories to you, my favorite people in the world, the sales community. Because let's be honest, it's the greatest job on earth. Doesn't matter where you come from, what background, what personality type, you can create an amazing life in sales. And today's guest, no stranger to the journey, I'd like to welcome Mr. Darren Padgett to the show. How are you, sir?
Oh man, I'm doing good. What's going on, Drew? I appreciate the invite to come on and talk with you.
Absolutely, man. I'm crushing the day and excited to be here. I want to jump right in. Give us your crazy sales story, brother.
Whew, I got one for you. All right, so man, I broke into sales like super early on. I think I was like 18. Met this dude playing like slow pitch softball, and he was like, "Yo, man, like." I see you talking to everybody out here. Like, you know everybody. I'm not really from here. He's like, but I own a few AT&T stores. He's like, and I got a problem with one of my managers. He's like, you ever sold cell phones? And I was like, bro, I barely had a job. Like, my only job at that point was I was driving around like a company truck delivering auto parts to all the local like county auto shops. So I was like, shit, I'll give it a try. Like, so I start working. He starts me out like at his worst store, right? Ton of backlog and all this stuff. So I do that. I manage. But from there, my actual like real sales job was I went into car sales. Toxic environment. I don't recommend it. But anyways, I interviewed at the dealership. The guy goes, when do you want to start? I was like, if you can give me 30 minutes, I only live like 10 blocks away. I was like, I'll run home, like pack a lunch up and I'll come right back. Cause it was like 8 a.m. I met the guy there early. I go back, I sell 2 cars first day.
Come on.
No, I'm serious. Like obviously, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, like most people, like you're like, oh man, like this is me. I got this. This is my thing. But I did well. But fast forward, I think it was like my 4th or 5th month, so I'm still super green, right? I'm still learning the process and all that. But I'm catching on. Like I catch on super fast. This guy comes on the lot and the guy's like, man, I really like this truck. The truck was one of our detail guys was buried into this Dodge Ram. Buried into this Dodge Ram. And it was basic white, like white on white, basic Dodge rims. And he was like, if you can sell this, he's like, I'll throw you an extra $1,500 on top of whatever you make. I was like, bro, it's sold. So I'm literally about to leave for lunch. This dude rolls on the lot. I scoop him up and he's like looking at the truck. I'm like, you like it? He's like, yeah. I'm telling him about it. He's looking at it. He's hemming and hawing. His wife, he's got his wife and like one of his kids. And they're looking at it. They like it and all this stuff. And for whatever reason, like, we're talking about this was probably like, I don't know, like 2 p.m. All of a sudden, like fast forward, it's dusk. And this cat still like wouldn't go on the test drive because he was so afraid because he saw the price. And he was like, I know that's going to be too expensive. I find out the guy like makes a shit ton of money. Like the guy makes he brings home like $3,200 a week and doesn't really like have many bills. He's got like an 850 credit score, like, but he's like a machinist or something. Like,
very logical and detailed. Those guys are hard to sell sometimes, man.
Oh man. So like, but the guy was cool as shit. Just a regular, like, he was like a grease monkey, right? Like just always like greasy work pants on. Like that was just him. He didn't really care. And his wife's like, oh honey, like you like it. Like she's like helping me out, like selling this for me. So like, she's like, you like it. You never buy yourself anything. Your birthday's coming up. And so's our anniversary. Like, you deserve it. And, like we do need a new vehicle. Like your truck is so beat down. You can just use it as like a plow truck in the winter. I'm like, man. So finally he's like, you know what? I don't know. I'll come back like this weekend. And I think it was like Thursday. I was like, this ain't going to happen. He's like, we got to get to the store before it closes. We got to get groceries. I go, Here's the keys. Hop in. Let's go to the store and get groceries. I'm going to help you guys grocery shop. I jump in the truck. We're literally walking through the grocery store and I'm picking shit off the shelves. Like I'm picking stuff off the shelf with like, I'm picking his daughter up and like, she's getting stuff up high off the shelf. Like we're hanging out. Like I'm literally filled a cart with all of their groceries. And I split his grocery bill with him. I was like, dude, you like the truck? Because he made a comment. He's like, you're really in here helping us grocery shop. He was like, I think I'm going to buy the truck. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, you guys need to get groceries. I didn't want to hang your time up. I was like, but I know that you want this truck and I wanted to sell it to you. I didn't want somebody else to sell you at another dealership and screw you. Disclaimer. The price of this truck was very overinflated because of the detail guy that was buried. So like he definitely could have got this truck for like $8,000 less somewhere else. So anyways, the guy's like, I split it. I go, if you buy the truck, I'll split your grocery bill with you. I was like, and I'm not even going to eat a lick of these groceries. I was like, I'll split your grocery bill with you. Cause it was like a $400 bill. Like they packed the cart. Yeah. So I split the grocery bill with the guy. We go back to the dealership and I fly through the paperwork. I'm like, bang. It was a monster deal. I think I made like $5,500 off that truck plus the extra $1,500 that the detail guy kicked me. But it was because I was paying attention to the nuances throughout the process. And I was picking up on his wife helping me sell. I was picking up on his daughter like in the truck. Like she kept wanting to get in and out of it. And then like he kept staring at it and like just eyeing it up like it was already his baby. And one of my usual go-to things was I would tell people, all right, I was like, can I get the keys to your car? I just need to go look at something. And then once I had the keys to their car, I would hand them the keys to the vehicle. And I'd say, all right, cool. Your car's staying with me tonight. I'm going to park it here, someplace safe, tuck it in out back. And then you're going to take this home. I want you to be able to wake up in the morning while you're getting your coffee and you're getting around and look out the window and be like, damn, that looks nice in my driveway. But I knew I didn't have that play. So I was like, let's go get these groceries. I got some grocery shopping. I didn't get home that night until like 11. And like I walked in and like at the time my girlfriend, but now she's my wife. She was like, I know you sold something. And she was like, because you wouldn't be home this late. She's like, you wouldn't be home this late. But yeah, that was a wild one, man. I mean, I've got a ton in the chamber that are wild, but that was probably the wildest one that I executed at such a high level on like just almost muscle memory, like from reps. Like, and that was at an early stage. But it worked out because I did what I was supposed to. I listened. I didn't talk too much. I paid attention to like the nonverbals, like the body language and all that stuff. It's super key, man. It's super key. Like I would have never gotten that deal.
Man, and I appreciate you sharing the nuance of that because this is part of the sales conversation that I really try to have with people. Because, man, let's be honest. Like, there's so many different trainers and sales coaches and stuff that exist in the world today. And, like, all of them have their pluses and minuses. Like, to be honest, I've spent ridiculous amounts of money going through almost every course I can find just to see, like, hey, what's that 1% difference? What's that little thing, right? And at the end of the day, personally, what I've learned, if you just care about people and you listen to what the hell they're saying when they're talking,
my man,
closing ain't that hard. Like, you're never going to sell everybody, but more people talk themselves out of sales than into sales at this point, I think.
Listen, man, what I tell all the business development specialists that like contract with me right now, and what I've been telling people for years is exactly what you just said. You have to get yourself into a state of being 100% genuine just across the board. And when you get yourself into that state, as far as like your role, especially if you're in sales, you need to only give a shit about the person, their wants and their needs and their goals, and fulfilling that with what you have to offer. And if you care about nothing but them, the paycheck is an automatic byproduct. As soon as you start focusing, as soon as that paycheck starts to come into focus, you're cooked. You're cooked. You have to truly just care about other people, not yourself, not your paycheck. Your paycheck's going to come as long as you're doing the right things, you're following your processes, you're listening and not talking too much. I promise, anybody who's listening to this, even if you've already recognized success already, I promise you it's not going to be long-term success without doing what we both just said.
It's going back to the basics, because a lot of times what happens is when you're new, you don't know what you don't know. And this happens a lot, especially in the world like with cars, where it's like, man, I just showed up and I was happy and smiling and they liked me and they bought the thing. And then over time, you realize that doesn't work every time. So you pick up the little nuances and you start thinking a little more outside the box and you strategize. And then you get to the point where you get comfortable and you forget to do the little things that make the biggest impact during the conversation and the transaction. And that's why people reach that point in years like 3, 4, 5, where they're just like, I don't know, man, I've been in the game a long time, I'm not really getting anywhere. And it's just like, yeah, because you stopped caring about the people and just started looking at your paycheck every week, and it's not going anywhere. And so you're stagnant, which is why the conversations are stagnant, which is why you can't grow. And so one thing I find interesting about you, Darren, is like, we have a similar story in that, hey man, you get thrown into an opportunity, you figure it out, like, by golly, God graces us with an opportunity to show up and be goofballs and do what we do and have some success. And you find yourself now consulting and working with other business owners and helping. How did that happen? Like, what drove you to deciding this is the path you want to be on? Because people that don't know, man, this ain't for the faint of heart. Like, it's a lot to try to work with business owners and sales professionals.
Yeah. I mean, just starting out with that point right there, it's a mountain every day, you know. I mean, every once in a while you might have a day or two to where like it's a little bunny hill or like there's nothing there and it's just easy. But I mean, 9 times out of 10 it's a mountain. So like you said, that's spot on. As far as like how did I come to this? It was, you know, progressing through the jobs I had through management and managing teams of people and working for a lot of small business owners in the town that I grew up in. And like at the time, like looking back now, at the time, what I was doing was really setting myself up for like a really good toolbox for what I have and a really good knowledge library, because I was just tagging along and just pestering, asking questions. Why'd you do that? Like, how come you didn't write that guy a receipt? Like, and then come to find out it's because like his wife already knows that his receipt needs to be done a certain way, and he recognizes when it's her handwriting, and when it's his handwriting, he likes her handwriting. Like all these different like little like nuanced things on how they ran their business and why they did certain business practices a certain way. I just kept pecking away and asking questions and just storing the information away. And then also like how I said at the top of the call, like my first job was like driving around delivering auto parts. I loved hanging around like as like 17, 18, 19 years old with like 65-year-old dudes. Like loved it.
Come on.
Like, I didn't want to hang out with anybody close to my age, man. I didn't want to hang out with they didn't have anything to offer me, nothing to offer me but attitude and like arrogance. And so I would hang out. Like I'd get like they'd call me from other side, like, where are you at? We got 10 orders stacked up. Like, where are you at? And I'd be at some mechanic shop 35 minutes away somewhere in the county, shooting shit with these guys, hanging out, them trying to get me to drink beers. But what I was doing was just sitting there, shutting the fuck up and listening to what they're saying. And then I was digesting, like subconsciously, throwing away their bullshit that made no sense, but then taking in all those golden polished nuggets that like you won't get except for with experience. And then like just putting all that together, man, like I got to a point to where I can't remember what I was doing at the time. Oh, I had just gotten absolutely just railroaded by this company. They're a global company, but they had a couple locations in this small town that I grew up in. I got absolutely railroaded by them. They took my whole blueprint for how to turn their company around. At the time, they had 12 warehouses. The only one that was in the green was the one that I really was responsible for. Everybody else operated in the red month over month. They took my whole blueprint, everything, like how I said you should really like flip and turn everything around. They took it all around. They took the whole blueprint and then like was like, all right, see ya. And at the time, my kindergarten best friend, like we are no longer like he doesn't even exist in the world to me anymore at this point, just because of the things that he ended up doing. But at the time, we were best friends since kindergarten. He had moved away, and then he had moved back into the area, and like we had just randomly met up, and then just hit stride again. He was working for this guy that had a plumbing company, but the plumbing company was his dad's, and his dad unfortunately committed suicide. Um, and his mom was running the company. He took the company from his mom, and he was running it. But anyways, this guy was working for him, and he came to me one day, like he stopped by, and he was like, "Man," he's like, "This dude's making like just cash fist over fist." He's like, "I know how to plumb." He's like, "You're solid with like business and like how to talk to people and like everything like that." He's like, "We should start our own thing." And I was like, "Dude, I can have it up and running by Wednesday next week." And it was Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I had the logo created, I had the business filed, I had everything in like 5 days flat. And we were
That's awesome.
up and rolling. And this was in August. We did 102K by the end of the year. And this is a town with like 10,000 people. Second year, we rolled like 280, 290. Third year, I had us projected to break a half a million in the third year. And after that, I was going to want to leverage any and everything that I could put my fingers on to be able to buy that other company out. So I was going to go
Yeah.
and try and get 2 million and buy that kid out. And then really, I would have been the second and only the other major plumbing company behind the other one that was like 150 years old. So, I mean, at that point, after that, like I achieved success, but then he killed it. And then I was like, and my wife was like, let's move to Florida. I was like, peace. So I was like, I'm with it. So we came down here, and when I got down here, I met some people, and I kind of was just like doing word of mouth, like kind of like advising and like consulting. So I consulted with some people just like on like small businesses, like, hey, what should I do? Like blah blah, this and that. And then I did some financial services work, and then I was just like, man, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. I was like, let me triple down. I'm going to go past double down. I'm going to triple down at the beginning of this year. And I was like, I'm going to go into consulting. I was like, I know I have enough of a knowledge base. I've built business plans for people. I've sold business plans. I've built businesses for them. Like, I should do this. I was like, I have a lot that I can offer, and I know what to do the right way and what not to do the right way. I have the A to B, right? I ask a lot of people when I sit down and I talk to them, like, what's the fastest way from A to B? And they're like, oh, it's a straight line. You're not wrong, but truly the fastest way is experience. So
It's
that's how I got to where I'm at now, because I like the aspect of advising and consulting more so than selling, because I've found, and maybe this is just the jaded aspect in me from the auto industry, because it's a very toxic world, but like selling someone just sounds nasty a little bit. It seems like you're coercing and you're convincing. And if you're having to coerce and convince someone to purchase something like your product, they really probably don't need it. Now I understand, like, obviously, like some people, like they do need it and they need some, like a little bit of a push because they're tight wads and those situations. But for the most part, I feel like it should be always approached from more of an advisory, like figuring out what do they need, showing them why your product is what they want, and then if they want to buy it, cool, great. If you don't want to buy it, there's other people out there. I just must not be the fit for you. It's either a you don't like me, a you don't like the product, which you've already identified that you need, or b you're broke and you can't afford it, which you can't fix broke.
man, that's there's so many layers to this, and it's a conversation that we could probably spend hours having, but I
Yeah.
want to be respectful of your time. what is the best way for us to find you, follow you, check out more of your content, kind of see, what you're putting out in the world? Because when you have that much experience and wisdom over, a decade of different opportunity, I know you're putting out some great content. So how do we come find it?
Yeah, so I love that you said that. I've always been like such a private person, so I've been so against creating content, and right now we're starting to ramp up the content. So we're starting to create. So you're going to start to see like an inflow like over the next 3 months of just nonstop content that we're already beginning to film now. Nothing has really been released yet because it's in editing. The first stuff is in editing, but you can find us, like all of our social media pages are at DNA Biz Co. So DNA BIZCO. That's all of our social media pages across YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, I believe as well, TikTok. It's all the same. Our website is dnabusinessco.com. You can go on there. We've got an ROI calculator. So like if you're looking to, make some organizational structure changes or like scale or whatever, you can kind of plug in some basic information. We don't store any of the information. You plug in basic information about your business and it'll give you like a roundabout. It's not exact, but it'll give you a roundabout idea of what your ROI in terms of investment into us is going to be. We've got a lot of other offerings that we do. We write business plans. I do one-on-one coaching with people, like mentorship, which I'm actually about to open up a couple of spots because I'm nearing the end of one of my mentorships right now. So I'm about to open up 2 or 3 spots for 2026 that I'll be offering to mentor business owners or solopreneurs one-on-one.
Heck yeah, man. It's always great to see people step into their brilliance and have an opportunity to really share that light with the world. And I see that passion in you. I see the excitement to just help other people be successful. So I appreciate you taking some time to be here and share that story with us today, man.
Yeah, man. Effort's key. That's all I care about is effort and ethics, intentionality, and effort. Those are my 3 biggest things.
Amen, brother. Well, listen, if you guys enjoyed the show, you got some value out of it, go share it on social media. Tag me, tag Darren, tag the crew. Let everybody know this was an episode that you spent a little bit of time on and got a massive ROI. Because time's the most valuable thing you have. We'll make more money. And if you work with Darren, you work with someone that can show you the path, that'll probably give you some strategies to do that. But more than anything, you're here listening to the show. And maybe you know somebody who sucks. Maybe you know somebody that has like absolutely 0 skills in sales and they need some help. Maybe send them this episode. You don't have to tell them they suck, but hey, I heard this. I was thinking of you. I wanted to send it your way. I thought it was awesome. And that's how we help people grow in this business, because it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what your background, personality type. Like if you want to learn and you want to grow, folks like Darren will share their story. And that's why I'm so grateful to have the show. And maybe you have a story. Maybe you want to be on the show. Head over to callthedamnleads.com/podcast. Send us your details. We'd love to get you booked in. And then grab a hat, maybe a sweatshirt, keychain, something cool. Represent the movement, because you know what to do from here. Go pick up the phone. Call the damn leads. We'll see you next time.
When the doubt gets loud, but answer that call. Vision ain't real till you grind at speed, so breathing deep. Then call the damn leads. Call the damn leads.